Hello everyone, my name is Madre, and this report is all about two-way of table of specification or TOS. And here is our objectives. Alam ko naman na sinabi na yan ni IC sa one-way of table of specification, so hindi na natin yan basahin ulit. So what is two-way table of specification? It is a matrix that crosses the content topics with cognitive levels, allowing teachers to see not only which topics are covered, but also what types of thinking skills are being tested. Table of specification is an important tool in educational assessment because it provides a structural framework for designing assessment that accurately reflect the program learning goals. Table of specification helps educators ensure the validity, reliability, and fairness of assessment by consistently linking content to cognitive levels and learning outcomes. By assigning the distribution of questions to different topics and cognitive domains, TOS avoid bias and overemphasis on certain areas, promoting a comprehensive assessment of knowledge and skills. So, anong meron sa two-way of table of specification? Number 1, we have the learning competency. Alam na natin yan, which is the specific skills students should learn based on curriculum code. Number 2 is the number of days, which is how many days were spent teaching each competency. Number 3 is the number of items, how many questions are included for each competency in the exam. And then next is the difficulty of exam, which is questions are grouped easy, average, or difficult to make sure the test is fair and balanced. Next is the cognitive domain. Each question is matched to a thinking skills from Bloom's taxonomy. So, dapat match yung questions or yung mga assessment sa Bloom's taxonomy. Next, we have the percentage of items. It is how many questions are assigned to each topic and cognitive level. Next is overall total or the total number of items for the whole exam. And item placement refers to sequencing activities or questions. So from simple to complex, concrete to abstract, low to high cognitive demand. Ito na yung pinaka-example ni two-way of table of specification. Lahat ng nabanggit ko kanina is nandito na yon. Tignan nyo na lang. And kung makikita nyo, meron ditong standard which is yung 60%, 30%, and 10%. So, alam naman natin di ba yung constructive alignment, which is meron tayong curriculum na sinusunod and dapat align yung instructional material at saka yung assessment na gagawin natin. So, ayan na yung curriculum na sinasabi ko. We need the curriculum when making a TOS because it shows what student must learn and the skill they should develop. And it helps us choose topic, set objectives, and make sure the test question match what was taught. Next is process of how to make test item. First, decide how many days to teach. Before making test items, check how much time was spent teaching each lessons. The more time student spent on a topic, the more question you can include from the objectives. This help make the test fair and balanced. Yan. Kung makikita ninyo, bago tayo pumunta sa number of days, tignan nyo muna yung learning competency. Nagbago siya. Ito yung learning competency kanina sa curriculum. Kung nagtataka kayo bakit nakakombine na siya, pwede nyo siyang gawing ganito actually kapag same nyo siyang tinuro, same day, or same lang naman sila ng topic and magkakarugtong lang sila. So, pwede mo yan siyang gawing ganyan. So, next sa number of days, kung nakikita ninyo, meron ng 6, 8, 10, 6, 10, tas nag-equal siya ng 40 days. Dito, malalaman nyo yung number of days or number of hours nyo siyang tinuro kapag natapos nyo nang na-lecture lahat. So, ayan siya. Diyan nyo ilalagay kung ilang araw nyo siyang natapos or ilang oras nyo siyang natapos. Next is calculate the percentage of days. After knowing how many days or hours were spent on each objective, find its percentage of the total teaching time. This percentage show how much weight each objective should have in the test. Ito na yung process ng pag-solve ng percentage ng days. Ayan siya, yung 6 kanina divided by 40 times 100 equal 15. Yan na yung ilalagay mo sa percentage of days. Ayan, ulitin nyo lang yung mga solving. And ayan yung kinalabasan niya. Yung kanina yung 15 na si 6 divided by 40 times 100 is equal to 15% of days. Next naman is si 8 divided by 40 times 100 is equal to 20%. Ganun lang din yung gawin nyo sa iba hanggang dapat mag-equal lang siya ng 100. Tanong, ma'am, if may point ba like 15.75, 15.20, ilalagay pa rin po ba sa percent of days yung point? Yes, pwede siyang ilagay as long as mag-equal lang siya ng 100. Tanong ulit, pwede bang bawasan yung percentage para lang ilipat sa iba? Pwede as long as mag-equal again siya ng 100. Next is sa calculate number of items. Dito sa number of items is meron na tayong 40 items na total. Meaning, ito na yung binigay or ng curriculum or meron tayong standard na sinusunod na dapat sa isang quarter is meron tayong 40 items na nagawa na assessment or na test item. Ito na yung process ng pag-solve ng number of items. Yung 40 kanina na total of number of items which is yung binigay ng curriculum, standard, or ng schools. And then yung 15% kanina na na-solve natin and ita-times natin yan. Equal, magiging 6 na yan siya. Meaning may 6 item tayo sa first objective. Second objective naman is meron tayong 8 items. Kung nababasa nyo yung notes sa baba, which is yung in this part, dyan na as a teacher, pwede mo yan siyang bawasan, pwede mo siyang dagdagan, if lalo na kapag mas maraming days mo yung natinuro, pwede mong dagdagan yon, pwede mong bawasan yung ibang test item. As long as mababalance pa rin siya and may equal pa rin, masusunod pa rin yung curriculum or yung standard na binigay. Ayan na yung mga na-solve natin kanina. Yung sa 6, balikan nyo na lang ulit. Yung 6, yung 8, yung 10, yung 6, and then yung 10 ulit. Yan, dapat mag-equal yan siya sa 40 na binigay ng school or ng curriculum. Dapat kahit nabawasan mo yan, yung sinabi ko kanina, dapat or idadagdag mo siya sa ibang item, dapat mag-equal pa rin yan siya ng 40 items. Next is calculate the total number of every cognitive skills. Kung nakikita ninyo dito sa table, yung 60, 30, and 10, ita-times natin yan sa 40 items and meron tayong equal na 24, 12, and 4. Meaning yan, sa easy na part, meron tayong 24 items na malalagay dyan. It's either na sa remembering or understanding. Same with sa average, dapat meron tayong 12 items na malalagay dyan. It's either na sa apply or analyzing. And number 4 naman, 4 items for evaluate and create. Next is calculate how many items each cognitive skills. Ito yung process ng pag-solve kanina, which is si 6, ito times mo siya kay 60%, 30%, 10%. Ito na yung kinalabasan niya. Kung nagtataka kayo bakit may or, kasi pwede nyong dagdagan or bawasan yung items, pwede nyong ilipat sa iba, as long as mabalance nyo siya ng 24 items for easy, 12 items for average, and 4 items for difficult. Ensure that the cognitive skills are aligned and balanced according to the curriculum. Meaning, kahit na binawasan mo siya, dinagdagan mo siya, dapat align pa rin yung learning competencies sa cognitive skills na dapat matutunan ng bata. And yung pagbabawas at pagdagdag ng mga test items, dapat naka-align pa rin siya kung gaano mo katagal tinuro or kung saan nahirapan yung mga student, dun ka magbabawas or dun ka magdadagdag. So, dapat nasa teachers pa rin kung paano nila i-align or babawasan or dadagdagan. And kung makikita ninyo yung naka-color green, yan yung dinagdagan ko kasi dyan maraming topics na dapat ituturo. And binawasan ko yung nasa objective number 5 na kanina is 25% na ngayon is naging 22% na lang. Meaning magbabago rin yung items niyan and magiging 9 na lang siya. And kung nakikita ninyo, align na siya. 6 plus 3 is 9 pa rin. So ayan, kahit na wala nakalagay sa curriculum na merong evaluate or create na part, sa TOS natin is kailangan natin siyang lagyan kasi nagre-required ang curriculum or yung meron tayong standard na sinusunod na may dapat sa 10% na difficult is meron tayong 4 items. Tandaan, maglalagay ka lang ng evaluate or create na part kapag yung competency rin is nagpro-promote ng higher order thinking skills like applying or analyzing. Hindi ka pwedeng maglalagay sa remembering or understanding lang ng evaluate. Kailangan nasa applying or analyzing din siya. So as a teacher, dapat na ituro mo siya ng maayos and dapat alam ng student talaga yung gagawin para ma-assess nyo talaga sila ng tama. Next is item placement. Next is tips for item placement in assessment. Pinaka main point dito is start with easy question, then average, and end with difficult ones. This helps students feel confident at first and then challenges them at the end. And eto na yung final na nilagyan ko ng difficult na part, which is the objective number 2 and objective number 3. Kung nakikita ninyo, yung number of items muna is 8, and then yung sa easy na part is 4, and then 2, and then 2 rin ulit sa difficult, and that is equal to 8 items. So, naka-align siya. Ganon din sa objective number 3, kung makikita ninyo, 11 items yung nandyan. Kung i-add mo yung nasa row na yan is 11 items ang equal niyan. And kung i-add nyo naman every column is mag-equal din yan ng 24, 12, and 4 items. Ayan, kung nakikita ninyo, di ba na-solve natin kanina na may 4 items sa first row. So, meaning nasa remembering or understanding siya. So, ang objective number 1 naman is nasa remembering siya. So, ilalagay mo lahat yung 1 to 4 sa remembering and dapat yung questions doon is puro remembering lang din. Same lang din sa process sa iba. Dapat i-align nyo sa cognitive skills and dapat ganun din yung question sa test item. Pag na-balance na, ito na yung pinaka-final na TOS. Paglagay ng item placement, nakita ninyo sa first row sa easy na part, lahat ng nandyan is nag-start for 1 to 24. So meaning sa 1 to 24 is nasa remembering or understanding lang siya na part and then pahirap na ng pahirap from average to difficult. Next, we have the unpacking competency. Ito ginagawa ito siya kapag sobrang taas ng objective like nasa evaluate na part, pwede mo siyang i-unpack, pwede mo siyang i-break down into a smaller part. Pero kapag nasa remembering, hindi mo na siya pwedeng lalagyan ng evaluate na part or create. For example, this part, yung competency niya is evaluate the proper handling of a microscope. Sobrang taas na. Pwede mo siyang i-unpack into identify the parts of microscope, explain the function of each part, demonstrate proper handling techniques, and judge or correct mistake in handling the microscope. So pag ganyan, pwede mong i-unpack para mas madaling maintindihan ng student kung ano ba talaga yung dapat nilang gawin. Purpose of unpacking learning competency. Number 1 is make learning goals clear. Break broad competency into specific measurable skills. Guide teaching and planning. Help teacher design focused lessons and activities. Next is align assessment with learning. Ensure tests and activities measure the intended outcomes. Next is support student learning. Help students understand what they are expected to achieve. Next is ensure curriculum coherence. Organize skills progressively and avoid learning gaps. Advantage of TOS with percentage. Ensure balanced coverage of topics. By assigning percentage to to each topic, the TOS ensure the important content areas receive appropriate emphasis on assessment. Next is alignment assessment with learning objectives. Percentage indicate the weight of each cognitive level, example 60%, 30%, and 10%, ensuring the test assess both knowledge and higher thinking as intended in the curriculum. Next is promote fair and valid testing. Weighing topics and skills with percentage prevent overrepresentation of less important topics and reduce bias, making tests fairer and result more valid. Next is guide instructional planning. Teachers can use the percentage to prioritize instructions and allocate class time accordingly. Last is support continuous improvement. Percentage allow teacher to analyze assessment outcomes related to topic weight. If students perform poorly in a high percentage topic, teachers know to adjust instruction or provide remediation in that area. We have the disadvantage of TOS with percentage. First, the rigidity. Strict adherence to standard might limit flexibility in assessing emergent or cross-cutting skills, might discourage creative or integrative questions that don't fit neatly into the grid. Next is difficulty in balancing items. Some topics are naturally harder to create items for, especially at the higher cognitive levels. This could lead to uneven difficulty across the test if not carefully reviewed. Next is potential overemphasis on measurable skills. Example, creativity or collaboration may not be easily mapped to standard or cognitive level and can neglect non-cognitive aspect of learning, requires teachers' learning expertise. And sometimes, may misalignment between topics, standard, and cognitive levels can happen if teachers are inexperienced with TOS constructions. Some TOS do not use percentage. Instead, they simply list the number of items for each topic or objective based on the teacher's judgment or the objectives. Dito sa TOS na to is wala silang 60, 30, and 10%. Nakadepende sa topic or sa objective kung paano nila i-align sa cognitive skills or sa Bloom's taxonomy. Same lang rin sa pag-solve kanina, but ang kinaibahan lang is topic yung nandito or pwede ring objectives, and yung nandito is number of hours, hindi number of days. Ganon din ang pag-solve sa percent of items and number of items. And sa distribution of items naman is nakadepende sa objectives or sa tinuro ng teachers, but mostly talaga is nakadepende siya sa objectives kung paano nila i-align sa cognitive skills or Bloom's taxonomy. Tandaan na this TOS, it's always based on the objectives, not on the curriculum or standard, to ensure the test matches what was actually taught. Example ng TOS, two-way pa rin pero walang percentage, naka-align lang sa objectives or sa cognitive skills. Tignan nyo yung objective number 1. Differentiating one-way, two-way, and three-way TOS, differentiate na sa analyzing siya. So, lahat ng items is nakalagay sa analyze. And, ganun din yung process sa 2, 3, and 4 na objectives. Inalign lang siya kung ano yung cognitive skills na nasa objectives. This is the advantages of the TOS without standard. First is clear connection to the objectives. The TOS matches the lesson goals, so the test measure what students are really supposed to learn. Next is cover the different thinking skills. It includes questions from easy to difficult, from remembering to creating. Easy to make and adjust. Since it's based only on objectives, it's simple to plan or change when needed. Fair and organized. It shows how many questions are given for each skills level, making the test balanced. And last is promote higher thinking. Students don't just memorize, they also analyze, evaluate, and create based on objectives. And this is the disadvantage of TOS
without percentage or standard na sinusunod.
First is not based on standard. It doesn't follow the set curriculum standards strictly. Second is may miss some topics. Some lessons might not be included in the test. Third, different teachers may do it differently. There is no fixed guide, so teachers may make tests in different ways. Fourth is hard to explain in formal evaluation. It's difficult to show how the test was planned or balanced. Too many hard questions for short exams. Before we end this discussion, try to answer this activity using the TOS without percentage. Align the objectives to the cognitive levels or Bloom's taxonomy. Conclusions: both type of table of specification are useful in making fair and clear tests. A TOS with standard help make sure all lessons in the curriculum are covered. A TOS without standard give teachers more freedoms to focus on classroom objectives. Each type has its own good and bad sides, and the choice depends on the situation. What's important is that TOS matches the learning goals, topics, and thinking skills so the tests become valid and fair for all students. That's all. Thank you.